G'day and welcome to Black Opal Direct. My name's Justin. Well, this week we've got a piece of seam opal that is actually quite unique. It's not like your usual seam. It has a gorgeous colour bar with some pots just sitting on the top of the piece. It's like it's been painted on. So all I'm going to be really doing is just taking that little bit of potch off the top, and by the shape of this it could turn out to be just a nice cushion cut gem. So it's not going to be a black opal because there's no of the black potch on the back is not touching the colour, so I doubt it's going to be a darker stone. But anyway, let's get on there and see if this faces up pretty. I'm looking forward to seeing what pattern it becomes. That water going. I'm just going to bring it in on the edges a bit more. So this mossy pattern here really is not as valuable as the pattern on top. So I'm going to forego that pattern and just take it around to the cleaner edges. Take that sand off that end. Almost there. Pretty close there. And we can take, actually I'll leave that corner on there for now. And yeah, let's take his top off. Oh. A bit of pin fire on the top as well. That's an interesting stone. Alright, so I'm going to take that corner off now. There really isn't much to it. Bring that in a little bit. The sound unfortunately cut out on me while I was recording right now, so I'll just have to run you through personally what I'm doing. And it looks like really I'm going for a cushion cut. I do need to take a fair bit of that back off as well, and I am cutting the inclusions out of the edges just to make it a nice clean stone. And this one I'm going to round the edges a little bit so it's a softer cushion cut, not such a hard squared cushion cut. And you can see that there's some light pin fire over the top of that mossy pattern below, which is quite nice. I'm working on a 260 grit wheel. It's a sintered wheel, which means that the diamond is impregnated up to 5mm into the wheel. So it'll last me pretty much a lifetime, just like other wheels I've had for the last 30 years and still haven't worn out. Now that I'm taking all of the potch off the back, I'm not sure whether it's going to be a dark opal or a crystal opal. We'll have to wait and see at the end. So rounding and smoothing the back and leaving no sharp edges helps you when you go to put the stone on the dopstick. You don't have a lot less chance of chipping a gem when you round everything off and take the corners away. It also helps when you set the stone in a piece of jewellery. If you have a nice rounded back, the jeweller will like you for making the stone a much more easier set than something that's lopsided or sharp or thick. And there we have it, a nice cushion cut dark opal. may notice in the background on the wall there's a new painting, and it's actually a painting of my father that looks very similar to what he actually looked like in an abstract painting, of course. But I was given it to me by a very good friend who's had it for the last 7 years, and when I was in Lightning Ridge they said it's time, and I knew exactly what they meant when they said it's time, and I nearly cried because I was so happy to get that painting. It's one of my most cherished paintings of my father, and it reminds me of him every day. This stone actually didn't turn out quite as well as I thought, but there was an inkling because the colour bar wasn't quite as thick as it should have been. There wasn't the chance to roll the gem so well, but still it's turned out to be quite a nice stone. I mean, I rounded that cushion cut so it's a little bit more of a pleasing ring stone, but still got the greens and the golds in it. It's also got just over the top of the green and gold broader pattern, it's got some pinfire going across the top, so that gives it a little bit of a 3D sort of colour on colour look. So what does it weigh? 6.27 carats. It's around about a $1,500 gem. And the reason it's it is a crystal. If you hold it up, you can see through it. So it is a crystal. I thought it was more of a dark opal, but when I hold it up to the light, I can see actually my finger through it, so it's considered a crystal. So a 6.27 carat crystal, yeah, and it's around about the 1,500. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time.